don't want to spend too much time in here. So our objective is to get to Jacques Marquet, or whatever his name is. Unfortunately, this old man here, he won't let you go past. He constantly wants his blood pressure taken. George can't do it because he ain't a doctor. So I'm going to skip a lot of the dialogue because I really don't want to listen to these idiots talk. They're not funny. Nothing memorable about them. I don't know if I can trigger this next part or have to do that stupid blood pressure thing. Let's all cross the fingers and hope that I can... So, from what I remember, you need to talk to the old man. This dude. And he should let you walk around with Bunny. Or 𝘨𝘬𝘬𝘪𝘳.
Excuse me, sir.
You must be the new boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy. This is 𝘨𝘬𝘬𝘪𝘳, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Do your own babysitting, Gramps. Who do you think you are, anyhow?
I am Felix 𝘱𝘍𝑒𝘍𝑒𝘍𝑒𝘍.
And may I say what an honor it is to meet you in person, sir. You are on my medical wall of fame. Right up there with Pasteur and Leary. I look on it as a privilege, no, an honor, to look after your nephew, sir.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
I bet this guy doesn't realize that I am not a doctor.
So long, Hagenmeyer.
I think 𝘱𝑗𝑔𝑚𝑒yer is the director or something, so he should know all the doctors. Surely. Like, surely he knows that George isn't a doctor. So if you give the blood pressure to Bunny,
Hey, Benoit.
Benoit?
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something.
I don't know if he's
Benoit.
gonna follow me or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Forget it.
let's go down here. Well, hopefully he follows me. So you use 𝘨𝑬𝘬𝘬𝘪𝘳 to take the blood pressure of the old man, and then you can go to Jacques Marquet or whatever his name is. Yeah, here he is. Cool, yeah.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
What's his problem?
He's delirious. He just now came out of theater. He's recovering from major surgery.
I'll have him up and about before you can say, Lazarus, get out of your bed and walk.
That's so insensitive. He's supposed to be a doctor. He acts like a right
Hello?
bastard.
Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. 𝘨𝑍𝑒𝑏𝑎RT, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it.
There's no reason to ask him of anything.
See you later. Hey, Benoit.
You have to ask him to take the blood pressure.
Yes, sir.
Do you know the nurse on...
No, miss.
Oh no.
I didn't.
Shut up, Ben.
Okay, sir.
Shut up, 𝘨𝑬𝘬𝘬𝘪𝘳.
Follow me.
I'm right.
Okay. I head over here. There you go. So he won't let me go
Doctor.
past.
What is it?
You haven't taken my blood pressure.
I hope I haven't fucked this up. Because I don't have the blood pressure kit. I've given it to 𝘨𝑬𝘬𝘬𝘬.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later. Hey, Benoit.
Oh, maybe I messed this up. Oh, God, Lord. I may have got ahead of myself.
Yes, sir.
Oh, here we go.
Are you ready with that pressure gauge?
Go for that.
I'm then ready to pump, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
This dude.
Use it on Eric 𝘨𝘨𝘮𝘮𝘮.
Okay.
And my bunny's doing that. Hey, look, it's Moo doing it. I hope it doesn't realise that
I'm Dr. 𝘨𝘨𝘮𝘮.
Bonjour, docteur.
Maybe it's not Moo. It looks just like him.
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Yeah, I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No, this was a tatty old bear.
How is the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Don't you think it's possible that the bear was a man in disguise?
It's Khan, isn't
Well,
it?
obviously, I'm not completely stupid. But who would go to the bother of disguising himself as a bear? It's not as if
Come on,
he'd
George.
blend in with the surroundings. I checked with base to see if any bears had been reported missing from the zoo or a traveling circus. They told me to sit tight until reinforcements arrive. I guess they're right. I'd be stupid to tackle a bear single-handed.
Is this guy absolutely fucking stupid? Whoever's in there right now with that Jack guy is murdering him. Dressed as a bear?
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, Doc, right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
What?
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks.
Oh, shit, doctor.
Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, Doc. If you see that bear, kick him in the nuts.
It's probably not the smartest thing to do. But
Rather you than me, pal.
this guy's gonna be dead, isn't he? Oh no, he's still alive. Whew. What happened to him?
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for?
Some
Get
annoying
it
voice
over
acting.
with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The 𝘨𝘨𝘮𝘮 gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Assassin.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grand Master quickly. Tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
What, you have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them?
We've met. What about the Hashashin?
Is more likely to have followed Klausner. He'll stop at nothing to prevent the reforging of the sword.
And that's bad, is it?
As for Klausner, he has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
You mean the doctor that's murdering him right now?
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter. The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Oh, that noise is annoying, isn't it?
Stand back, monsieur.
Nice. God, I don't have tinnitus. Wow, that is really annoying. Oh, thank God for that. The crap. It's just what I needed in my ear.
I found
Like
Jacques
20
Marquet.
minutes.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
Not me.
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window.
Did he just like jump out the window and fly away or something? So weird. So Khan's part of the Hashashin, which means that he's a good guy. Surely. Can't bloody remember. Is it the people who have been killing, that Khan's been killing, have part of this weird organization, which is obviously going to be the Templars, you know, because of the manuscript. The Khan's going out his way to murder all the members so they don't reforge this sword. Okay. Interesting.
Have you ever heard of the 𝘱𝘨𝘮𝘮?
No.
Marquet said that they were
Oh,
his
sorry.
biggest enemy.
Said it
His
wrong.
biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
It's true, he literally gave me all the information I need. Silly idiot.
Can you think of any use for this?
That's a thing for measuring blood pressure, isn't it? What are you doing with that?
I picked it up in the hospital. It could be useful.
You ought to take it back. Don't you feel guilty?
No.
It's not like it's someone's bloody heart. I'm pretty sure they've got loads of them.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mu? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
Definitely Andre. Our next step is to get the tripod before Flap and Guido get it. If you haven't realized. Go back to the Museum Crune. Or the Crune Museum. I love how George walks like he has no... He just doesn't care. We can go to Montfaucon, but we don't do it just yet. In fact, we might have to go to Montfaucon before we go to the museum. I can't remember. You have to trigger the museum closing. And then Andre goes, and then you stay in the sarcophagus. And then Flap and Guido turn up. Get the tripod.
You have left it very late, monsieur.
Yes, it is
Late
here.
for what?
Anything? I am closing the museum soon. You wouldn't like to get locked in. I can tell you, not in this gallery.
Why not?
It is haunted, monsieur.
You don't believe in ghosts, surely?
Oh, yes, I do. 7 years ago, a lad managed to hide in here. He'd made a bet with his friends, I suppose. When I found him in the morning, he was cold as ice and stiff as a board.
Well, what was the cause of death?
They said it was a brain tumor. But on his face was a look of stark, desperate terror such as I have never seen before.
Scary.
Doesn't mean that he was frightened by a ghost, you dumbass. We don't want to talk to him.
Forget it.
Let's do this quickly, shall we? So we need to open the window and then hide in the sarcophagus. And before we do that, let me... Oh no, it should be fine. I'm hoping I can do this without needing to talk to Andre or the guard.
It is closing time,
There we go.
Monsieur 𝘨𝘨𝘮𝘶.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, monsieur.
You didn't do a very good check, did it, to see if anyone was hiding in the museum? Hours pass. So this is the very good time to save your game, because you can die here. They just walk through the fucking door. Why don't they have any alarms?
Hey, Guido! Look at this!
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight.
That is some shit Italian accent right there. Okay. I'm going to save. And I'm going to show you him dying again because it's funny. Okay, so if you just walk out...
Oh, Guido!
What's
Ghosts.
the big idea, you dummy? Shine the light down here.
The mummy! It's come alive!
If that's a mommy, I'm glad I'm an orphan.
Sometime later. It's the same scene from 𝘱𝘦𝘴𝘦𝘪𝑗𝑗. Yeah, you can't die like that in the director's cut. As I said before, it's they completely removed all death. So what you need to do is you need to tip over this statue. You didn't see nothing, bud.
What the? Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Go, George, go. I love how he knocked himself out. Boop. Well, I mean, that's obviously Nico. Proper cat burgled away in
When I
there.
woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor Georges.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean... it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod. Aren't you going to try putting the gem on the tripod?
I guess so.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
The gem
was he
fits
expected?
perfectly, but what does that prove?
This is gonna like transform into something. He just puts it in his pocket.
Maybe the tripod has to be in a certain location.
There's nothing on the manuscript to indicate where, though, is there?
Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André Lobineau.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so.
Okay then. That means
I
we
have
go
to
to the
go.
museum.
Already? You only just arrived.
Time and tide wait for no man.
Okay, I'll see you later.
He gets like very oddly flirtatious. It's so random. It's very random. Flip-floppy emotion is. Okay, so if we head back to the museum, now that some assholes stole the tripod and it's not in my pocket. So we need to find out the family of the name of the family that the crest is on or something. I forgot this game is the one where you go to Spain, I think. Oh no, someone stick the tripod. I wonder who that was.
Hi, André.
Hello, Georgie.
What's with the long face?
Haven't you heard? The tripod was stolen.
No kidding.
I just don't get it. So many other treasures, and the thieves choose the tripod.
A modern-day alchemist, perhaps?
Who knows? There's no shortage of crazies in Paris. Hey, I visited Nicole's apartment.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
And like, Nico says that it's great. It was good to see him again, but Andre is acting like he's never seen her before. So random.
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Oh,
What can you tell me about Philippe le Bel?
he's a bastard.
He was responsible for the extermination
He's
of the
like
Knights
a
Templar.
greedy
I know
asshole.
that, but why was Philip so hot to get rid of them?
Mostly because he wanted to get his hands on their treasure.
Typical.
He had an enormous debt and a lifelong war with England to fund. The trouble was, the Templars were a highly respected holy order.
So he needed an excuse to kill them. What a piece of shit.
If the Templars were so powerful, how did this Philippe dude wipe them out?
By underhanded, dishonorable means, of course. The Pope was Clement V, a Frenchman.
French, huh? Handy for Philippe.
Fate had nothing to do with it. He was Philippe's puppet, planted to further his political ambitions. Philippe wanted the wealth of the Templars and used Clement to get it.
Wow.
So what was Philippe's plan? What happened?
Sealed orders were sent out all over France, not to be opened until the appointed day. That day was Friday, July 13th. That's the origin of our superstition regarding that date.
Friday the
At dawn,
13th.
throughout the whole of France, the Templars were arrested. It was the biggest bust in the history of the world.
But Philippe didn't find any treasure because they hid it from him. Hence why they used the is that the Inquisition that tortured them, burnt them at the stake. Pretty sure, because something to do with the Is it the leader of the Templars, 𝘱𝘦𝘴𝘱𝘦𝘪𝘳? They burnt him at the stake, didn't they? Bunch of greedy bastards, all for money.
What happened to the Templars after their arrest?
How very human.
Philippe was out for blood, so he handed the Templars over to the Inquisition. Not surprisingly, they confessed to a sensational and sordid list of blasphemies.
Like what?
Oh, the sort of things you read about in the gutter press. Devil worship, lewd sexual practices, spitting on the Holy Cross, that kind of thing.
Well, that must have given their lawyers some headaches.
Whether or not the accusations were true, this was not good publicity. Most of the charges were probably cooked up, but so were the Templars, literally. Hundreds of them were found guilty of heresy and flamed grilled at the stake. They died protesting their innocence.
But surely Philippe had no proof of his charges against the Templars.
A man will admit anything under torture. The Inquisition fabricated some nonsensical demon called Baphomet, and then suggested to their victims that this was what they worshipped.
But they didn't have to agree.
The records show a Templar coming to trial with both feet burnt off. Fragments of flesh and charred bone falling from the stumps. What would you not admit to stop such torment?
So there was no truth at all in the Baphomet accusations?
Not a shred. Almost every victim described the idol differently. No, Baphomet never existed outside the sick minds of the Inquisitors.
It's quite horrible, isn't it?
So Philippe stole the Templars' riches, huh?
Oh no, they weren't stupid. The king's troops marched first on the temple in Paris, then to the Templar home port at La Rochelle. There was no trace of the treasure, and the fleet of the Knights Templar had set sail.
Man, they fucked off. Brilliant. All that, he literally did all that for nothing. What a stupid idiot.
Have you ever heard of the 𝘱𝘐𝑰𝑛?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, assassini, the assassins.
Just think of Assassin's Creed when you see 𝘱𝘐𝑰𝑛. What's that about?
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the 𝘱𝘐𝑰𝑛.
Oh, like modern day terrorists, aren't they? Yeah.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, 𝘱𝑗. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They are probably long dead.
The Vascon chalice, holy crap. I assumed that that was in Broken Sword too. So that's why you go to Spain. Oh, okay. Wow. God, it's been so long since I played this game. I've forgotten parts of it. Crazy.
Do you think the manuscript could be the map to the Templar treasure?
Frankly, no. That's too far-fetched. The manuscript is interesting enough and a rare find, but that's all.
Wouldn't it be terrific if it was a map, though? The treasure of the Knights Templar.
A romantic notion, 𝘱𝘩𝘏, but extremely improbable.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Right, so we know the Spanish family we need to go and see. The Vasconcelos? Now I don't know where to go next. I'm pretty sure you have to go to Montfaucon. There should be a church there if I remember correctly. So let's head there. Oh, bloody hell, the jongleur. The crap, I forgot about that. This asshole here. Look at him. Stupid clown. So we've seen enough bloody clown to, to last a lifetime in this game.